Hey everyone, today I would like to talk with you about a big problem which is Meta currently having, but not only Meta, I guess every metaverse which is currently out there like Decentraland, Sandbox, whatever, have this problem. And I also noticed that some potential customers I talked with in the past are worried about the future basically of the metaverse or about their metaverse and how it could look there with this specific problem. So I decided to make a quick video about it to talk a bit about the problem and showing you that you don't need to worry about it when you do or when you create the metaverse in the right way and with the right focus. The big problem I'm talking about today is that there are not many users, for example, in Horizon Worlds, and that's a bad thing. And how should a metaverse work when there are no people who wants to play the game basically? And I also heard articles that Mark Zuckerberg's forcing their employees to use it, but they don't want to use it because it's not fun and stuff like that. It's very crazy, and those worlds which got created, they are basically empty, and it's actually very crazy that no one wants to play it. But yeah, it's a problem which is not surprising me, because I know why this is the case, and we will talk about this in today's video, so that when you create a metaverse, people will love to play it. And there are some things we need to integrate basically in the metaverse that it actually will make fun and stuff like that. So in this video I will talk more about game psychology in general, so we can all learn more about how to keep players motivated and hooked by your game. And now you may think why we start the comparison with games now, and many people think that the metaverse is something very serious and where you can't have fun and you play the rules, and say many people think that the metaverse is something very serious. And in the real world, offices produce it as a business platform. So Meta also wants to use it as a business platform. They think how they can get more and more money out of it and stuff like that. But that's the wrong focus. You should focus on the community and add as many features or funny things in this metaverse as possible. Because when you have the people hooked in your metaverse and they play it also for free, then it will be a very cool game for people, which they will play and play. Let's imagine for example GTA. Let's imagine it's for free, and those stores you can see there you can buy all kinds of free items for your character. But then you also have additional stores, for example from Nike, Adidas, whatever, where you then can also buy for example the new shoes, and you like them in game, and then you maybe also buy them one day for yourself in real life, also inside the game. And that's how I imagine the metaverse, and that's also how I imagine we can financialize it basically, with store rents and also the store sales, and maybe also real world advertising on some walls. I mean, in for example New York or whatever, you always have ads around you, and when you for example rebuild a city like that, why should you waste the space for example with fake ads or something like that? It's just making the game more realistic for the player basically, because it's no big banner at the bottom or something like that, which is taking away space from the screen, or it's no annoying full screen ad which will pop up while you are inside the game. It's just something the players will see in their conscious mind or something like that, They walk around there and can still do what they want to do. So the main two problems I see here is that people focus on money and not on the community. And the other big problem is that people think that they don't see the connection with gaming basically, or with game psychology to keep players hooked to the game. And also, and one other thing, is like the missing features or like missing fun. So why should you stay in a world basically where you can only walk around? And when the level design then is also boring, then you walk around there for a minute and quit. So level design and also like the features or like secrets you place in the level that people have an actual reason basically to explore the worlds are like the most important things. And in Horizon you also don't have those things. You can meet people, but when there are no people in those worlds, the worlds will get boring very, very quickly. So to hook players now to a platform, and if it's a game or something else, doesn't matter actually, we need to make something which makes it fun and also interactive, like games for example. And this also comes with other advantages, like that you can learn faster by playing, or that you can easily remember things after you saw or learned it by playing. Like these brands for example will easily keep in mind of the users very long when they visit a virtual store, for example. But like, how can we create a metaverse which will hook players? And there are different effects and things we need to think about and integrate to the experience, as I mentioned before. And for that, I would like to use the game Fortnite as an example, since Fortnite is like one of the most popular games currently or over the last years. And so let's start, I would say, directly with the first effects. The first effect is the trigger. Every hook basically starts with a trigger, and triggers prompt us to action and tell us what to do next. And in this case of like Facebook or your iPhone, a trigger might be a notification or a status update, and this type of trigger is called an external trigger. And IL says, since the information for what action to take next is contained within the trigger itself, with Fortnite players receive a notification to join friends from inside the game, or while external triggers nudge players to join the fun. IL also says here that external triggers alone are not enough to build a habit, to get people like to use a service without prompting or something like that. Users must trigger themselves with internal triggers. And according to IL, we need to involve making mental associations with the product. And the most common internal triggers, he says, are negative emotions. And for example, we use Facebook when we are lonely, or when we spend watching YouTube videos, when we are bored. And these products become our go-to relief from negative feelings. And internal triggers, for example in Fortnite, have to do with sustaining uncomfortable feelings of boredom and the need of social connecting as well. And while we are being bored, it's a common trigger for many like forms of entertainment that like Fortnite does a particularly good job of like coupling desire to connect with friends. And the game also allows players to invite friends, chat with them, and also like let's enjoy like watching them play even after their own character loses, and you like can no longer participate, but you can still watch your friends how they maybe get a win, and then you can like party with them or whatever, you know. It's like an experience with your friends together, you can enjoy together. And also here I see that multiplayer in general is something very, very important, but like most of the metaverses out there already have multiplayer. I just thought about it in a way that, for example, when you have a virtual shop or something like that, that it of course makes sense for you to also offer this experience as a multiplayer experience, because then people can shop together and maybe, let's say, also want to flex or something like that with their friends, and then they buy a bit more than usual or something like that, you know. Or it's just cooler to shop together with a friend who maybe can also give feedback like how this specific part is looking and stuff like that. So it's still cooler to have this also as a multiplayer experience here. And then the next trigger or the next point I want to talk with you about is action. the next step of the hooked model is the action phase. And actions are the simplest behavior done in anticipation of relief. And I'll say here, in terms of joining the game, the simplest action is usually to accepting an invitation, which catapults the player right into the group page and prior to entering the game. And according to Isle here, the simpler you can make the action, to the more likely it is to occur. And Fortnite is available on several screens, including PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One. However, the simplest way to start playing is with just a tap through the mobile app. So that's also one very interesting thing here. And basically we also should focus on different consoles. PC is one, but mobile is also one very important console, I guess, because everyone nowadays have their own phone where they can play games or whatever, or where they can browse products and stuff like that. Also many, when you have, for example, a web shop, I guess, when you have tracked it, the most people will actually play your website. No, they will visit your website with a phone, for example, and you can easily track that with some cookies and tools and stuff like that. And it also would make sense to do that. And then you will see that many people will visit your website through a phone or mobile app. And here would be a mobile version, mobile game, or a mobile shop. Basically, you can enter, walk around and inspect the products and try them on and stuff like that. Here, that could be a cool addition, for example, to your website or something like that. The next point I want to talk with you about is the reward. The next step of the hooked model is the reward phase, and it's here, I'll says, that users get what they came for and relief from the psychological itch of the initial trigger. And in his book, Isle describes the power of variable rewards, and originally studied by B.F. Skinner, the phenomenon of explains why slot machines are also engaging. For the same reason people enjoy scrolling their Facebook news feed, and we love surprises and also hunt for those, or we hunt for something unexpected. And the main rewards Fortnite offers is the uncertainty around each session. You have no idea where opponents will be, you have no idea where you will spawn or land after this jump out of the plane. You have no idea where you find the next loot or which loot it will be. You also have no idea which rewards or how many rewards you will get after a round, because you don't know how successful this round will get, and how well they play, and which terrain you'll end up in, or what loot you might find once you get there. And the search for valuable rewards and also comes in the form of ways to personalize your avatar. And all these variable rewards do get a great job of entertaining the player and sustaining the boredom they came to alleviate. And also other games do it in a way, for example, where you maybe have loot boxes or something like that, where you play until you get the loot box, for example, but then you in this loot box are, let's say, 5 weapons, and you only want to have 1 weapon, and then you have another feeling when you open the loot box and stuff like that, because you want to have this specific weapon, and you play more to get more of those boxes, for example, and stuff like that. And that stuff you in theory and that stuff which you in theory also can integrate to your own metaverse. Keep players entertained by having those variable rewards, that every session when they join the game is different from the session before. Or let's say one friend of you is playing a session and you play a session, but both sessions will be different and unique. And something like that is very interesting, because then you can play the game again and again and again, and it never gets boring. And the next thing I want to talk with you is the investment. And finally, the hook is complete. According to IEL, when the user puts something into the product to improve it with use, basically. In this case of products like Facebook or YouTube, an investment might be the data regarding the things you like watch, or a comment on, or something like that. And investment can be passively collected, as it's in the case of the usage data, or investments can also be something with the user actively does to improve the service, such as upload content to customize the experience, or an investment in Fortnite primary occurs when players pay to personalize their characters, and players can upgrade outfits, gear, or crazy dance moves, as you have likely seen kids imitate whenever they congratulate these days, or something like that, but investing in the form of personalization is the key component of why players keep coming back to the game. And of course, it's how the game makes gobs of money. And the thing is also, it's more likely you return to a game after you bought a ton of skins or stuff like that, because you already have the feeling, or you think that you already invested so much in this game, time, but also money, that you still need to play it before you search another game or something like that. And stuff like this keeps players hooked to a game. And when we put all this stuff together now, the Fortnite hooked model looks something like that. I will also show you a picture here. And all through Fortnite is designed to maximize players' engagement. That doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing. Quite the opposite. In fact, after it gave it a try, as opposed to judging it from afar, I found it to be a game parents and kids can play and enjoy together. And after all, there are all sorts of ways people choose to entertain themselves. For example, while the entire planet seemed to glued to their television seats, watching the World Cup made kids and I were doing something much more interactive. And of course, there's nothing wrong with either pastime, as long as those activities are enjoyed in moderation, and enough time is made for important things in life. Now that I understand the hooked model behind Fortnite's success, I can enjoy it with a new found appreciation, basically, and as well as break the hook when it's time to disconnect, basically. And I think what we all should learn from this is to create something like this hooked model, or something like that, also for our metaverse game. It's very important to see how game psychology in general works, to implement that also in the metaverse, that people get entertained from it, and that they keep there in long term, that they have fun, and that they can actually enjoy the time, because they will not enjoy the time when you don't integrate something similar to this. It will get boring very quickly, and that's what you don't want actually after you spend some money to create your own metaverse. And that's why it's very important to get those experiences made by people who, for example, came out of the game industry, like us. We created games and levels and stuff like that before, optimized for games, for players to enjoy it and stuff like that. And you should not go to for example Meta or something like that and do the easy way of creating something there in those spaces, or for example also Roblox and stuff like that, only because there are already players. The actual way, I think, which would be the best, is creating something own, where you are independent from all the other platforms, basically, and then you do the right game psychology and hook, or this loop, basically, to hook players. And then the only thing you need to do, or we can do it together, is creating the marketing ideas and stuff like that, that many people will see that you have an awesome experience like that. And that's it basically. And like this you can easily hook players not only to this metaverse but also to your brand, and people will get fans through playing this experience and learning more interactively about your brand. And that's why it makes absolutely sense to have something like that, because it will not only increase like upsales, cross sales and whatever, you will actually have fans coming back to your brand. And like that you don't need to spend like thousands in ads or something like that to get new people, because the people you already have don't come back. And like that you can easily scale your business in an exponential way, because those people who got through or found through those ads will stay long term at your brand and come back and come back. And all the new people you collect through ads, which you of course can continue to do, it makes sense. But those people who come then, it's just like an exponential curve. And because all the users or many users which you like already accumulated will keep there for long term, and the new users will just come on top of it, you know. It's just a very crazy effect which you have when you build up fans for your brand. And something like this can, like, of course also get done with other effects, but it's very, very simple actually to do in a forum, in the form of a game or of a form of a metaverse. Because it's like interactive, and because people can look behind the scenes, they can learn more about your brand and stuff like that. And if you now also want to have your own metaverse, then feel free to contact me over the website below, or just write me a mail, and all the contact informations are also in the description of this video. And yeah, as I mentioned, feel free to contact me and to get your first free the strategy or discussion session where we can analyze your brand for free to see the potential for your brand in the metaverse. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching and take care. Bye.